Good afternoon all and welcome to the channel today. The past few weeks we've been doing loads of clearing. The clearing up is still happening, but in this video what I'm going to do is show you guys my chili harvests. It's time to harvest the chilies. There are loads of them that are ripe now, so we'll be taking them off. That's one of them here. I'm also thinking of planting the garlic and onions. So I'll start with one of the beds that I've had covered for about a year. I'm going to use that bed to plant the onions, and half of it will take the first set of garlic and probably move somewhere else where I planted the corn on the second plot to plant the rest of the onions and garlic. And I do it this way just so that if there's a problem on one of the bed, it doesn't affect all the crop. So I don't plant all my crop on the same bed. I always try to put them across maybe two different beds and across the two plots. So half of the onions and garlic that I plan to plant would go on this plot where we have the greenhouse, and the other half would go on the other plot where we have the polytunnel, half here and half over there. There's going to be clearing up, but I'll show you how the plot looks after I've done the clear up, rather than having you look through again how I clear my plots. Okay, so let's get to it. Also, before I start up with doing any work, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel. We have finally gone across the 50 mark. I think we're about 54 now subscribers on the channel, so thank you very much. I truly appreciate your signing up to the channel, for subscribing. Thanks for your comments, thanks for the likes, thanks for continuing to watch the video. Please, again, if there are certain things you see on the video that you want me to talk more about, let me know. And if there are certain things you would like me to make a video of, please do let me know. But thank you very much, and I truly appreciate your continued support. This is the sweetest chili I grew this year. When it's very red, it's really sweet. It's still hot though. As you get to the seeds and as you come up this top, it's a bit hot. It's mildly hot, but right down to this point, it's let's say like the half of it, it's sweet. Everything is sweet, but it's just hot as you go up. I'll take a few more, and I'll let the rest stay on that are green. So they're gonna go ripen at home. Yeah, let me get some of the spiky ones. Yeah, I remember testing this last time. These ones are really hot right from the tip. Yeah, it was a shock for me. It was a surprise because I was expecting it to have some bit of sweetness, but it was really hot. Okay, so this is what we just harvested from the greenhouse. We have this one that's white and purple, or let me say cream color and purple over here. Oh, it's quite hot. No, it has a weird taste if you eat it raw, but it's quite hot. The heat comes up slowly. You don't feel it instantly. This one is sweet, has a sweet taste. I love it. I would definitely plant it next year. Not too sure of that one though, but yes, this one I'll plant next year. We have this one that's very hot. Probably will plant it also next year. And I've got this ones, they're quite hot, but yeah, nothing special with this one, but I probably will plant it again next year if the seeds do germinate when I try this year. Okay, so that's all the harvest I'm taking from the greenhouse. We'll go now to the polytunnel. Let's see what we'll get in terms of chili harvest, and then we'll move on to planting the onions and the garlic. Okay, so we're now in the polytunnel, and yeah, I'll just go straight and start harvesting the chilies in here. We've got this very long one that looks like spaghetti and grows quite long. And we have another one that is very close to the Scotch bonnet. I would hazard a guess and say it's Scotch bonnet. It looks like Scotch bonnet. We would see in a minute. So, but let me quickly grab this one and then we'll go to the other one also. Okay guys, this is the Scotch bonnet one. Well, the one I think it's Scotch bonnet. And yeah, it's very hot. I'm not going to test it. I know it's hot. I've tried it before. I'm not going to try it again. It's very hot. So I'm going to harvest all that's orange or red, because even the orange one is quite hot. That's how hot this one is. When it's not fully red, it's still very hot. So I'll grab all of this and I'll leave the green ones for maybe another couple of weeks. Somehow, once the chilies start going, they are able to continue growing, you know, and getting ripe, even in the cold weather. Definitely, very hard frost would kill it. So when we say hard frost, we're referring to the very cold spell where the weather drops below, I think, 0 degrees. The temperature, I mean, within drops below 0 degrees, and you get like ice forming on things. It's not snow falling, just ice. And that icy condition, sometimes accompanied with wind, comes in and kills this plant. The chilies and the tomatoes are warmth-loving plants. So when it gets very, very cold and we get frost, they just die off. It starts with the leaves and then it gets to the fruits, and also the fruit stops growing, stops ripening, stops doing anything. It just, you know, stops progressing. That's the plants. Still some green ones there. Some green ones over here. But I've taken off all the red or the ones that are orangey, and that's them there. This is the one I got from that one that looks like spaghetti, the long one. This is how much harvest I got from it. And this is all the chili harvest today. So this is what we currently have as our harvest. As all the chilies. The most is the one that's like Scotch bonnet. The long stripy, the long ones like spaghetti. We have the yellow one that also is hot as Scotch bonnet. We have the spiky small sets over here. Now those ones are also nice. They're just hot. This is my favorite. It's sweet and hot. When I tested this, the feeling I got was exactly how I felt when I first tasted sweet tomatoes. But that's the harvest, and next step would be to grab some tomatoes. There's some ripe tomatoes here, not so much, but a few, which, you know, sweet ones. I'll have those ones there. I'll just pick them off. I have a few here I'll pick off. We have this guy that gave us loads last time. I'm going to take a few of them again, the ones that are red or that are splitting. So I'll pick this all up and then we'll go to plant the onions and the garlic. Okay, so we've finished harvesting the chilies and some of the tomatoes from the polytunnel. Now what I want to do is plant the onions and garlic, and I want to plant it on this bed. This is the bed. I've covered this bed for almost a year plus. I think about 2 years, because it was first covered when I tried to grow watermelon, and the black bits, you know, the weed membrane was put down so that the watermelon would grow out from this point, but then there will be no weed competing with it. It didn't work out. I went on a holiday that period, and they died basically. And this season, I didn't even put anything in it. I just left it covered. So I'm going to start with the onions and garlic here. Probably going to plant half of it onions, and this side I'm standing on will be garlic. So first thing first, I need to take all this rubbish off, take off the duckweed roots that I've kept to dry over there, and open up this weed membrane, and we'll go from there. Get that out of the way. Next one is the nets. This, I want the rain to wash this for me. Silly me. Put it on top of the soil that I put here, the garden soil. So not good. I need to look for somewhere nice to lay it. The weather's changing, so we need to get a move on and try to get this work done as quickly as possible. I don't like to stay here more than another hour. But before I show you guys how I'll be planting my onions and garlic, just want to show you where I've cleared today. So not too much work. I moved off some of the rubbish that was here. I moved out things over here also, and you can see where I've cleared. It's just this front underneath the third apple tree. I've got 3 apple trees on this plot, so all of that bit, all of this bit, all around that bed at the back of the apple tree. So I've cleaned that bed, and we've cleaned the top here, but now I want to open up the weed membrane and see if we could plant onions and garlic as planned before the rains come down. So let's unveil this and see what's beneath. So this is what we have. spot that was open, the 3 spots that were open, you could see the weed growing from there. Oh, it's gonna rain so bad. So that spot, that's one, and the other one. Just gonna dig them though. Just dig those spots and make sure they're fine. But yeah, we've had this bed covered for almost two years, and if you look at the side here, you can see the wood chips they've almost broken down. This is the wood chips that was just on the side. But let's see. I'll get on with the planting. Because those sides are exposed, have some weeds that have grown at those spots, so just need to dig it a bit and, you know, break their roots, cut their roots, and then we could plant. Yeah, fill this up with garden made compost. I don't know what root is this. Is the apple tree? Maybe. There's an apple tree. There's an apple tree there. There's an apple tree here. Maybe it's the apple tree roots. That's there. I'm just going to use the rake to scarify the top a bit, and then we'll start planting. I've dug the holes, and I think on that bed I was able to get 90 holes dug, and the plan is to have some bit of onions, or half of it onions, half of it garlic. So I've got radar, I've got senshua, senshu, it's Japanese, and we have snowball onions. I know this one do very well. Not too sure of this one, and this one might be a struggle to do this one, so I'm gonna use radar. So I'll do half of radar. Well, we've got 90 holes, so with 90 I'll do 45 for radar. Or should I mix it all up? Yeah, maybe I'll mix it up. I'll do 20 radar, 20 snowball, or 25 snowball, and the remaining 45 I'll do 20 pink Gemidor and 20 pink Casablanca. Okay, so I'll show you what you need to do for those that have not done this before. Don't want to mix it up now. What you want to do is take your garlic bulb, you know, and just break it, because what you want to plant is each of this bulb. This is what you want to plant, and you want to plant it with this pointy edge facing up, and where you have like the base downward. So we're going that way, and I'm going to split all of them into individual bulbs, and then I'll pop it in the ground. So yeah, I'll just crack on. For the onions, you don't have to do that, because you know the onion bulb is just the onion bulb. It's on its own already, right? It's just one single bulb, but you could see the tip and you could see the bottom where you like have the roots. So you want to plant it in the ground that way. So I'm just going to set my stuff up, and I'll show you while I'm planting. There's no need you looking through while I you know, break out each and every one of this bulb out. Okay, so I've put it all in here, And normally I would have my label set, but I don't have this one set. But I know what's here, and I wouldn't miss it. At some other point, I would label them. This is the white snowball. This is the radar for the onions. This is the pink germanum, and forgotten the name of this white one now for the garlic. But we'll get it labeled later. So I'm gonna go out now and put it out. I'll put it in the bed. I think I didn't mention the depth, so yeah, just carry on for now to save time, and we could do that one later. So I've decided to plant the garlic in front and the onions at the back. So I'm putting them in, but I'm not covering them yet. And the reason for doing that is so that I would remember where I've put the garlic in. What I don't want to do is put it in, then cover it up and forget. So yeah, I'll carry on. Yeah, the garlic, the white one's called white Casablanca. The white garlic is called white Casablanca, and the white onion is white snowball, or is it just snowball? Yeah, probably. Okay, so that's white Casablanca in, and now we're doing pink germanum or something like that for the garlic, and my depth is not too much, but I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's no problem for me because I've done it several times, so I know what depth I want to go in for it to, for it to grow properly. I don't want it to go in too deep. Hope you could see that. So you could see they're just peeping out from the hole. They're not too deep inside, right? I'm going to cover them, but that's how you want it, something like that. So I would carry on putting all this in. I've finished with the white Casablanca, so I'm doing the pink germanum now. I'm doing the garlic. Okay, so I've finished planting the bulbs, and these are the bulbs in the ground, right? You can see the hole is not too deep. There's them just sticking out a little bit. So I put the snowball, the onion set snowball here. I put the radar here, this other bit. I put the white Casablanca at the beginning, and then I put the pink Germano over here. So what's now left is to cover this. So from the pack it says you should measure, ensure you keep the bulbs 20 centimeter apart and 6 centimeters deep when you plant. So I use this, which is maybe around 4 or 5 to dig my holes, as in from this top to this point, around 4 or 5, I would say. So okay, and maybe I didn't actually put mine 20 centimeters all through from the beginning to the end, but yeah, it should work. In my previous allotment, I've seen some of our neighbors that Chinese pack their garlic quite close, and it does still give them a very good crop. So yeah, mine is probably somewhere between 10 and I think around 10 centimeters apart, I would say, my spacing, rather than 20. Okay, so I'm just going to cover this all up and we'll call it a day. I've spent a good amount of time here, so I think this is going to be the end for it today. Once again, I would like to say thank you to everyone who's supported and who continue to support the channel. Thank you for every single thing you've done. We keep growing, and we would continue to put out loads of videos and talk about different ways we could grow that wouldn't be too stressful, or time consuming. But this is how far we've come today. There's the being there to throw away, and things are beginning to look a lot better. The plot is beginning to take shape, but this is where I'll leave it for today. Thank you very much for your support. Do have a nice week ahead. Bye.